everybody. This is Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Welcome to your reading. It's been about a week since I made a video for you guys, so I'm excited to jump in for you. And we're reading on a topic today called How to Increase Your Intuition. And what can you do to basically break through any blocks that you're having with your intuition and kind of get to the next level. And recently, a friend of mine asked me if I would help her learn to read tarot more intuitively. And it just got me thinking about this topic, and it also got me thinking about possibly doing a class on that one day in the future, and just, you know, reminding myself of some of the things that I do to be more intuitive in my practice as well. And obviously, I'm still growing. We're all still growing. Otherwise, we would not be on the earth plane if we didn't have work to do and growth to accomplish. So I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell and let Spirit know that we are ready as a collective to receive. And something I may talk about in the future, which if you guys don't want to hear this, you can skip to the timestamps below. But something I may talk about in the future is channeling for the collective and dolphin pods, which is something that my guide showed me as a way to channel for the collective and how we can give the highest, best messages for the collective, which, you know, on some level we're doing when we're doing channeling for groups of people. So I just found that very intriguing and very interesting. Of course, I love dolphins anyway, and they're such like beautiful creatures, such intelligent creatures as well. And they definitely travel and live in pods. So, and they're highly psychic, right? So it's like being in that psychic pod, but interesting, very interesting stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it for you guys. We have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, which is this beautiful piece of rose quartz. If you're into pile number 1, you'll choose number 1. If you're into pile number 2, you'll choose the citrine, this beautiful piece of citrine stone here. And if you're into pile number 3, you'll choose this beautiful piece of amber. Actually got this piece of amber when I was in Sedona a couple of years ago, which I highly recommend for those of you that haven't been yet. This citrine I think I got in a mystical shop in Seattle, Washington, actually right outside of Seattle. And this rose quartz I got at Pike Place Market in Seattle, Washington. Actually, this rose quartz my boyfriend bought for me, which was really sweet of him, and I always think of that when I look at this rose quartz. Okay, so if you're curious about where these stones come from, and I thought this citrine was cool too because I love citrine. It kind of reminds me of that energy of like an orange, and it's like very uplifting energy. And I like this one because it's like it's almost like you can feel it, like, you know how you would if crystals, like you could feel inside of them and they had like gushy kind of material inside of them. So anyway, hopefully that will help you guys. And if you like to go by deck, I have the Rider-Waite-Smith deck here. I have the Light Seers deck for pile number 2, and I have the Modern Witches Tarot for pile number 3. Again, timestamps are in the description box below, so find your pile, and you are welcome to listen to more than one pile. So let's go ahead and get to it, everybody. And we're gonna look at how to increase your intuition. Yay, everybody got oracle cards. Let's do it. Okay. Let's get in there. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the rose quartz, and today's reading is called How to Increase Your Intuition. So we're gonna go ahead and drop into the energy pile number 1, and we're gonna ask that Spirit work with us today. Spirits, angels, and guides, let's all take a deep breath. Please be with us today as we work on how to increase our intuition for my beautiful pile number 1s that chose the rose quartz today. We are open in our hearts, we are open in our heart chakras, and we are ready to receive. Thank you, Spirit. Let's do it. Pile number 1, how do we increase your intuition? Let's take a look. Ooh, we have the Ace of Wands. So definitely something here about confidence, believing in yourself. And, you know, and I also think sometimes too with intuition, we can get nervous about it sometimes thinking that we need to force it or it has to be super active or spirit give this to me, right? And I feel like with the Ace of Wands, it's much more of a just natural process, okay? And the Ace of Flames too, when we talk about wands, we're talking about spirit. So this is really like spirit of spirit, okay? With the Ace of Fire, pile number 1. And so I think you're already getting quite a bit intuitively from spirit, okay? But I also feel like for you guys, it's about getting to the purity of the message, to release all distractions, to kind of get into the purity of the message and what spirit is trying to tell you. So we're going to find out what that is here. And we have the 5 of Chalices. So this is the 5 of Cups. And yeah, I mean, you guys, I talked about the heart space as we started this reading. You also chose the rose quartz here too. The 5 of Cups is a Mars and Scorpio card. So a lot of dramatic energy, I feel like maybe sometimes around you, pile number 1. And a lot of people maybe kind of, you know, putting heaviness on you at times, or maybe some of you in pile number 1 have been through an incredibly heavy time and you need to kind of give yourself some allowances for that, okay? And with the 5 of Cups too, it's also about like focusing on the wrong things sometimes too with the 5 of Cups, right? Like here's the 2 cups sitting here, and she kind of has her head down and she's not looking at them, okay? And maybe some of you guys have had some disappointing experiences in the past when it comes to, you know, your intuition and doubting yourself, or not liking what you see in others at times, or being a little bit shocked or afraid of what you've seen from an intuitive perspective. We have the Threshold and card 39. So this is the Kuan Yin deck, and we will definitely talk about that. With this 5 of Chalices, if you've been feeling really blocked lately, if you've been feeling really weighed down by your emotions, really heavy, dramatic energies, you guys are at a threshold. You are going to have a huge breakthrough here with this Ace of Flames, okay? So don't worry. We have, the Eternity card here in the Snake. You have forever to figure this out, pile number 1, okay? So don't rush yourself and try not to get frustrated with yourself. We have signs and synchronicities, seeing many signs. And I see the fairy here is looking at this butterfly and, you know, like, oh, nice to... nice to see you, nice to notice you, okay? So there's a lot of signs and synchronicities. I feel like sometimes you guys may be buried in some intense emotions with this 5 of Chalices, looking in the other direction, feeling super kind of, you know, and I feel like this is your guide here, kind of, you know, giving you, like telling you to kind of raise up and look up. I feel like this is one of your guides saying, raise up, look up, okay? Look at what we're trying to show you. Look at what we're trying to bring you, okay? And just because maybe you felt sometimes discombobulated emotionally with the snake energy here, you know, or even angry at times with certain things that have been happening, pile number 1, doesn't mean that Spirit isn't sending you a ton of synchronicities and a ton of signs, because that definitely is coming up here. We have work on your crown. So working on your crown chakra, that's coming right underneath the Ace of Wands. So some of you guys needing to, especially with the head bowed here and kind of being in this very intense heart space and kind of dramatic energy, and this energy of threshold telling you, you know, if you work on your crown chakra, pile number 1, it's really going to add a lot to your intuitive practices. You're going to feel a lot closer to Spirit. And it's not to say that things that, you know, things haven't gotten all mixed up or all, you know, out of whack emotionally at times. Pile number 1, I can definitely feel that heaviness here. But Spirit is saying work on your crown, okay? And I feel like a lot of times like with the crown chakra, it can be lovely to like wash our hair. It can be lovely to get a scalp massage, to really take care of your scalp. It can be lovely like to make sure you're hydrated enough if you experience any issues with your scalp. Stress can also cause a lot of issues with the scalp, okay? But the crown chakra, talking about that opening up to spirit, like open up to spirit, it's okay. It's okay, pile number one. We have earth and physical. So if you are opening up to spirit and you're feeling a lot here and you're being kind of drug into the drama and a lot of people and it's kind of messing you up at times, pile number one, spirit is saying here, please ground yourself, okay? Because if you're working a lot with the crown chakra, you also have to work with the root chakra to balance that out, okay? And we could have earth signs here too, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But Spirit's saying if you're working a lot with channeling or mediumship or in the intuitive space, you also want to ground yourself. We have health. Yeah, definitely. Mother Earth sweet, Mother Earth bright, bring me your health and might. So not just physical health, but also emotional health. I feel like emotional and physical health, pile number one, which are really tied together for you here. And it's like when you're emotionally distraught, it also impacts your health. And I do think that, you know, for you too, being very clear-headed and working on that crown chakra, I mean, I also see her stretching here. So I feel like some of you kind of need to stretch, especially in the morning. You need to ground yourself, you need to stretch. And if you are going through deep intensity and emotional intensity, don't beat yourself up over that, but understand that if you open up your crown and ask, you know, that the cleansing, like, you know, ask that that be cleansed, ask that the fire come in and cleanse you. I do think that's going to be very helpful. We have the Hermit here. So definitely an emphasis on health, mental health, taking care of yourself, getting enough time alone, grounding yourself. I also feel like sometimes with these signs and synchronicities and the snake, I feel like sometimes, you know, the Hermit is great, but I also feel the Hermit can be a little bit overly logical, you know, especially if we're trying to look at our intuition. We may be looking for the obvious. We may be like just relying on the intellectual information, the technical information, right? And looking for fast solutions is also kind of what I feel here, pile number one. And I feel like you guys kind of need to stretch out a little mentally here too. We have 5 of Cups and feeling alone. So something, or 5 of Pentacles and feeling alone. So we have the 2 5s here. We have the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. So something going on emotionally and physically with you right now, pile number one, or that has in the past that really locked your energy up here with this snake energy, like really locked you up. And I feel like you're hitting a threshold now where you're ready to be a lot lighter and freer. You know, sometimes when we hit a threshold, there's major testing at a threshold, you know, when we go through those periods of life where we really feel tested. And with the Hermit card here and feeling alone, it's the difference between isolating yourself, like what's healthy for you mentally, how can you ground physically here, and what's healthy for you mentally. Everyone needs time alone. Everybody needs time away, but how much is good for you and how much, you know, how much do you really need? How much alone time do you really need? When does it get to the point where it feels like sad? I think pile number one too. There's an energy here of wanting to raise your energy. All right. We have 4 of Swords and just breathe. Right? I really felt the need to breathe at the beginning of your guys' reading. So just breathe. 4 of Swords, relax. This is also a mental health card. It's also emotional health. Okay. So definitely getting that emotional, mental health kind of a vibe. And your guides, if some of you guys are feeling pressured to be right a lot when it comes to your intuition, and you don't feel like you have anyone to talk to about that, I would definitely, I do feel it's important for you guys to open up, okay? And I feel like here, you know, there may be a lot of pressure for you to get it right when it comes to your intuition. And Spirit says you're a much better channel when you relax and you're not so tightly wound up and not in such a dramatic space, is what I feel. Okay, like when you're out of that dramatic space and you're out of that heaviness and you're relaxed, like that is the optimal place for you to channel, I feel, pile number 1. We have sitting in the power. Wow. So this comes from, I don't have the cover of the deck right here, but this comes from a mediumship deck. And it talks about, you know, mediumship and increasing your mediumship abilities. So sitting in the power involves this experience, this 4 of Swords experience of meditating, sitting there, sitting with Spirit, okay, getting grounding, sitting in the power. Ace of Wands, crown to feet, okay? And I'm just going to read this here. When learning to connect with the other side, it is essential that you make time to get to know your own spirit. If you randomly pulled this card, then Spirit is calling you to take time now, right? With the Hermit here, to take time to get to know your own spirit, right? And then to sit in your own power. It's time for you to consciously focus on your own inner light and tap into the unlimited spiritual power within you. Take a moment to close your eyes and imagine you're slowly and gently breathing in light, right? Allow light to fill, the light here with the Ace of Wands. Allow light to fill your physical body, letting it expand your own energy and aura. Continue to breathe in this simple manner. Allowing some time to sit and be in the expansion of your own loving light. Keep it simple in the beginning as you develop this technique. Allow time to get comfortable with this practice. Notice whether you feel energy in certain areas of your body or chakras. Do you see images in your mind? Do you hear sounds or music? Moments of profound silence are expected to be quite normal. All right, by devoting time to breathing meditation, it will help you expand your awareness and allow your psychic and mediumistic abilities to grow and flourish. It will also help you revitalize your mind, body, and soul, bringing you into a place of balance and harmony. Once you learn to tap into your own spirit and power, you can access it anytime you wish. Yeah, and I feel like sometimes maybe you think you need to be in the optimal health or the optimal mood in order to do an intuitive work, and that you need to be like with the Hermit energy, you need to be in that like perfect space. And I know how that is. I mean, we could have some Virgos here in this pile too. And I know that feeling, guys, of like, oh, I need to be in the perfect space in order to, you know, channel really clear, crystal clear channeling, crown chakra, right? But Spirit is saying you're going to get it, the more you sit in the power and the more you sit in that energy, that expansion, in yourself in silence before you start intuitive work, the easier it's going to be for you, all right? And the less worry you may have about it as well. We have the Wonder of Colors as your second card here for how to expand your intuitive abilities. And so it says everything is made up of energy, which constantly moves and vibrates. Even colors vibrate to their own unique frequency. Treat the world around you as your own personal art school as you begin to learn and practice how to bring color awareness into your life and spirit. Colors can be a wonderful tool as you develop and evolve your psychic mediumship abilities. The 7 primary colors are the same colors as those of the chakra system. Colors are not only beautiful to look at, but they can help you with your clairvoyance, aura work, and symbolism, as well as feed creativity and imagination. So talking about reading auras and colors, the color of a spirit's aura can help you identify aspects of personality. Colors are everywhere. Breathe in the wonder, right? Breathe in the wonder here. And I do feel this yellow color here, and it's here as well in the flame here. Something about yellow for you guys, okay? Every medium and psychic uses the imaginative right side of the brain to achieve an altered state. This takes place where true spirit communication can take place. During the week, notice all the different hues and colors that surround you. Be aware of how many times your choice of color appears throughout one day. Once you understand and educate yourself about colors, you will never look at them the same way. So learning about colors and what the colors mean, you know, or developing your own language with color. And a lot of times on my other channel, I use tea lights, right? I use the colored tea lights and I say, you know, choose the purple tea light or the blue one, right? And I'm using that as a tool for the people that are watching in order to help them use their own intuition using color. And a lot of times when I'm warming up my third eye and I'm warming up my like pineal gland, you know, the gland in your brain, like in the center of your brain by the back of your head, and I'm warming up that third eye, I'll do it with color, and I'll start with color. And a lot of times I'll ask, like, what chakra needs to be focused on today? And I'll wait for a color to appear. And then I'll go read about that chakra, and then I'll say, oh, no wonder, right? So you start making these associations. And, you know, a lot of times I feel like the best friend of a psychic is Google, because you're going to get things during your meditations that you haven't heard before or you don't know what that means. But once you Google it or look at the definition, you'll be like, okay, I see why I was thinking about that. And you'll start to develop a relationship with symbols and colors, okay? So very cool energy there. We have the breath of the cosmos. A lot of energy here about breath. And I was feeling that at the beginning of your guys' reading, that need to kind of breathe and take some deep breaths, okay? My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe, right? Okay, pile number one. Do you micromanage the universe sometimes? Are you like, show me a sign, show me a sign, show me the synchronicities, show me what I'm missing, right? If this is supposed to happen, show me this, show me that, right? I feel like sometimes when we get overly demanding like that, it's like micromanaging the universe, right? Instead, my will to thy will, my will to the will of source. And I see the breath of the cosmos like coming in, breathing in and out of her mouth here, basically lighting up the sky. And something about the Ace of Wands and the crown chakra for you guys about saying my will is aligning with spirit. I'm not trying to micromanage what I am getting from spirit. I am just going to align my will with spirit. Okay, beautiful, beautiful energy. Ooh, we have the Shekinah, the sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. Okay, so talking about unleashing your spirit here and dancing to the sacred rhythm of life. I talked about stretching. It looks here like she's reaching up, and it's almost like that half moon pose in yoga. I feel like is really good for you guys, stretching out your neck and your shoulders. But I also love this half moon on her third eye here and the dove of Holy Spirit, right? Express your gifts. Don't be afraid, right? With the Ace of Wands, for some of you that feel a lot of pressure to be perfect and to do everything right when you're channeling or working with your intuition, try to take some of that pressure off of yourself and yeah, dance to the sacred rhythm of life, baby. So let's go ahead. Oh, and I wanted to read you guys something here from the Kuan Yin deck about this threshold card, and that is card 39. So let's go ahead and look at it. Card 39. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but at the threshold you stand. Before you lies a way of being that is beyond fear. It is sacred passing through a karmic veil into a new life of empowerment, peace, spiritual service, humanity, and joy in your own soul. Congratulations, you are embarking upon a phase of deepest soul liberation into freedom and love that triumphs over fear. It has been quite a journey, many, many lifetimes and much inner work. The Hermit, yeah, being alone sometimes on your journey, pal, number one. Yeah, many, many lifetimes of much inner work has been required for you to be able to perceive the light of the divine, right? You perceive it though, pile number one, Ace of Wands, crown chakra. You really perceive that light of the divine. Yeah, you are fast approaching the karmic threshold where you can shift from a fear-based to love-based embodiment. This is a sacred and important time where it is wise to surround yourself with those who are able to support you in this love-based reality, okay? Beloved Kuan Yin helps you to connect to the beauty and potency, the love, the fearlessness, the endless joy of your higher self. Do not be disheartened by any old fears that are surfacing. You do not need to create a story out of them. You can just observe them. Yeah, with the Hermit card here. Sometimes there can be deep testing on the threshold. Yep, that's this threshold card. This is not an exam to be afraid of, but an opportunity to realize your development and to really be secure on a firm inner spiritual foundation before moving forward in your soul service to others through how you live and be on this planet. It is no use preparing to assist others on a higher scale and moving from fear to love if you're still making the transition yourself. Let yourself stabilize in the new vibration, then let your ability to help others will increase naturally with much grace, assistance, and effortlessness, okay? Yeah, so, you know, you guys have been doing the work for a long time, pile number one. You really have, and many times alone on this path. And there may have been times where you did feel very isolated and alone and, you know, abandoned with this Five of Cups, left alone. Yeah, and you have grown tremendously through these experiences, pile number one. And the best thing you can do for yourself is be mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy. Work on grounding yourself, work on opening up that crown chakra and taking care of your crown chakra, work on sitting in the power, and work with colors as a way to help increase your intuition. Now, we are gonna go ahead and look at, I also love that you guys got the snake too, because snake energy is very intuitive. That could be Scorpio, Virgo, Scorpio energy here. But I mean, snake energy it's very emotional, deep energy and healing energy, but it also is highly intuitive as well. So let's go ahead and see for my pile number ones, how can they increase their intuition? We have this, I just mentioned Scorpio, okay? Here's the Sun and Scorpio card here with the Six of Cups. Talking about expressing your gifts and unleash your spirit here with the Six of Cups. So something here too with the Six of Cups about being in a, well, and it's interesting because you guys go from the Five of Cups to the Six of Cups, right? And the Five of Cups feeling alone, feeling trapped, feeling like, you know, I can't go any further than this, right? And then in the Six of Cups, it's emotional harmony, it's emotional balance, and it's allowing others into your practice as well and sharing with others what you know, okay? And sometimes the best way to learn something is also to teach it. So something that you're giving to others, and I think keep that in mind, pile number one, like why do you do this deep work? Why is this important to you? Why is spiritual service important to you, right? And there is something here about, you know, about deep emotional connections with others that feel very satisfying to you, especially after this time of being alone, all right? And let's see what else helps pile number one increase their Queen of Cups. There you guys are. I mean, you're a natural empath, pile number one. Do I even need to tell you that? Like, you've spent many lifetimes being intuitive. You've spent a lot of time, talk about sitting in the power, right? With the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, definitely emotional, intuitive. This is a lot of water energy. I mean, it's interesting because your crown chakra, there's fire energy on your crown chakra. And it's rapid downloads for you, pile number one. But there's something about staying emotionally calm during this process, okay? There's something about keeping everything on the up and up emotionally. And yeah, and staying healthy emotionally during this process, I feel, okay, pile number one. So there could be a lot of people that need your help or need things from you. Some of you may have children as well. You know, you may have a lot of caregiving responsibilities. I feel like here, pile number one, lots of water, lots of deeply psychic, intuitive, and sensitive energy. Yeah, there's something here with fire though. I think the next frontier for you guys is fire. I think you've done the deep emotional, like caring for others, in service to others, you know, witnessing others, sitting in the power when it comes to your intuitive gifts with other people and helping them, right? There's something here for you a new learning or a new teaching that has to do with fire, okay? And it has to do with the element of fire. And yeah, there's something here. These two, okay, so there is, here's you guys here, right? You guys are Cancer energy. There's a lot of water, Scorpio and Cancer energy in this reading, and Virgo energy. Here you guys are. Spirit is trying to give you, you know, you guys, I feel like you guys told Spirit, I want to learn a new skill with the Magician. I want to learn to do something new. I want to get trained in something else. And I want to not just feel like I'm here wiping boo-boos. You know what I mean? Like mommy does. Like, oh, you fell. Like, let me wipe your boo-boo, right? I feel like you guys are saying, I want my practice, you know, to be more dynamic than that. And I feel like you guys are wanting your practice to be less emotional, all right? Your intuitive practice to be less affected by what is going on around you. And you want it to be a more dynamic and fluid process. I also feel like, you know, if you want to move into a new area with your intuition, pile number one, that boundaries and, you know, things that people were doing in the past are not going to cut it anymore. So if you've spent a lot of time taking care of the birds with the broken wings, there's something here about you guys kickstarting a process that I feel like some of you have wanted to do for a long time and you've wanted to learn for a long time, okay? Whether it's a new discipline, right? Because everything adds to your intuitive basket, whether it's like, I want to learn astrology, I want to learn about the Kabbalah, I want to learn about magic and the Golden Dawn, I want to learn about conjuring and spell making, I want to learn about, right? I feel you guys really reaching for this new skill set. And the Magician is, you know, when I think of the Magician, I think of someone I really look up to whose birth card is the Magician, and she's a psychologist. She also is an astrologer and a tarot reader. Like, she's a triple threat, okay? And with the Magician, you know, the Magician has all these tools in front of him. It's not just, you know, the emotional empath, the cups, right? It's the sword, it's the pentacle, it's the wand, right? And some of you guys are going to be picking up new intuitive abilities. Some of you guys are going to be straight channeling and going into trances with the crown chakra here and the Ace of Wands, okay? And with the Wonder of Colors, I feel like you guys, I feel like when it comes to your intuitive abilities, it may have been very heavy or upsetting at times, you know? And I mean, other people can really expect a lot of someone who has a lot of intuitive abilities. Like, oh, okay, mommy kissed the boo-boo, right? But I mean, I see you guys, it's like, I don't want that anymore. I feel you guys are rejecting that. If Spirit is wanting to give you like more opportunities to be like existing through other people emotionally, like with empaths, there's this, you know, and I know, I've been an empath myself, pile number one, since I was a child. So, but you know, at some point I got pissed off, and it doesn't mean like this. I feel like this emperor is looking at the past like, ugh, you know, like no wonder I felt so crappy half the time because I was carrying everybody else's bullshit, you know? And the thing about, you know, empathic abilities is how to make them more dynamic, how to make them more creative, how to set appropriate boundaries, how to monetize what you're doing, how to be confident and sure of the business that you're building and what you're working on, right? There's a lot of elements that go into this, pile number one, okay? And you guys are going to be going through a learning phase where I feel a lot of you guys are going to be rejecting some of the things, particularly maybe a parent told you, or someone trying to put you in your place, I feel like, or, you know, Big Daddy or religion or, you know, anything, pile number one, that made you feel like, I kind of just got to be like in this mommy kiss the boo-boos mode, all right? And I just feel like you guys are at a threshold with this magician coming out on top of this threshold. You want to do something entirely different and new, all right? And you're kind of taking what you learned before. I mean, right, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater type of thing, pile number one, but I kind of feel like there's some crumpled up energy. Like you took something you learned, you crumpled it up and you said, I don't really want to do that anymore, okay? Like I feel some of you guys started over in a way with the way that you look at yourself and your intuitive abilities. And I see you guys just growing in confidence, stature, power, okay? And you don't want the old shit. It's not even interesting anymore to you. You're not into it. You don't like it. You're done with it, okay? And especially if there was a parental figure in your life that told you you needed to play a certain role, okay? So one last card here for my pile number ones as far as increasing their intuition. The Queen of Pentacles. You've got the whole world in your hands, right? And, you know, you guys came through as the Queen of Cups here, as this water energy. We also have physical, okay? So to me, this just is showing what happens when you sit in the power. When you sit in your own power and you've got these good boundaries and you're, I mean, boundaries, right? It's such a big topic and it gets boring after a while. It's like, okay, I thought I did boundaries. I thought I was done with boundaries. It's almost like I'm just going to completely switch gears and go in another fucking direction because I'm even done with that conversation is kind of what I feel for you guys. And it's about what is going to excite you, what's going to turn you on about what you're doing. And I see you guys going from being, you know, kind of a bleeding heart or being, and I want you to know your empathic abilities, your intuitive abilities aren't going to go away if you develop more structure around what it is that you're doing. And I also feel like more practicality around it as well, like more training, more learning, more practicality, more grounding. It doesn't mean that your intuitive abilities are going to go away. You're just shifting, okay? You're really shifting. You're still you. You're still a queen, pile number one, all right? You're developing another dimension of yourself is what I'm feeling. So thank you so much, pile number one. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you found that interesting or helpful, do leave me a comment if you so desire. Give me a like or a comment or nothing. I mean, if you don't feel like doing anything either, that is also fine. You can just listen to the reading. But if you feel like it, I really would appreciate it. I love your comments and just hearing what you have to say. So thank you so much, pile number one, and take care. Let's go ahead and move on to pile number two. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Citrine stone, and today's reading is called How to Increase Your Intuition, pile number two. So let's go ahead and do it. Spirits, angels, and guides for my beautiful pile number twos, please connect me with their amazing energy. No, we did not forget anything. No, we know exactly what we're doing. We're not going to be held back by any doubts or any fears. We're going to move forward, pile number two, and look at how you can increase your intuition. Let's do it. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, you guys in some type of training or program, maybe some of you are actually taking a class right now with this Knight of Pentacles energy, with this Adept of Crystals energy. But I also feel like for some of you, maybe you have taken classes in the past for your intuition or for learning some type of spiritual like channeling or tarot, or you've taken some type of classes in the past, but you may feel like it didn't really get you anywhere. You know, with the Knight of Pentacles, it can feel like, well, I got all this great information and it was really cool to learn, but what can I even do with it, right? Like how does this pertain to me, and how can I do something with this on a more practical level? Okay, so we're gonna look at that. Some of you guys may feel a little bit stalled out too with the Knight of Pentacles, because it's not the most dynamic energy, but to me it does talk about studying and learning, and you know, and really taking things seriously too. It's not like the Knight of Pentacles just fucks off and decides not to show up for class, okay? The Knight of Pentacles, very committed energy, very physical energy too. It's like, okay, when I see it, I'll believe it. It's very like physical, grounded energy. We have 7 of Orbs. So I feel like some of you guys, maybe you were dealing with people that were like, well, that can't be true, or that isn't right, or they want to poke holes in what you're saying, okay? Some of you guys could be dealing with a lot of skeptics around you, or you grew up with a lot of skeptics around you, and you may find yourself like backsliding at times, even though you do notice things and you do see things. People may be like, oh, well, that's not true, or I don't think that that's right. And then you may go, okay, and have to kind of backpedal, okay, with the 7 of Swords here. And, you know, people liking to point out what you're doing wrong, or what you did wrong, or how that didn't work, okay? And that's not great, especially when you're studying and learning. That can be really shitty. And if you did have that experience, pile number 2, then you know, it can create this sense of distrust within yourself too. And I just want to say that is not cool, all right, if somebody did that to you. We have Enter the Jade Temple. So some of you guys are being invited to become, I feel like, become understudies or become students of Kuan Yin, or students of the goddess, or students of intuition and compassion, okay? It's like an invitation. It's like Enter the Jade Temple, okay? And we're gonna read this card. What an interesting card for you guys to get. Also, card 11, that's a very spiritual number, and it has to do like with, you know, being a teacher as well. So I feel like it's an invitation for you guys to come through, all right? And I'm also seeing the number 78 here, or the numbers 7 and 8. The number 11 is much more preferable to the number 7, I feel like. And, you know, this talks about a shifting, I feel like a shifting arrangement or something changing here. We have shadow work, make peace with your inner shadow. Yeah, I had a feeling this card was gonna come up. It's from the Work on Self Work on Self Dick pile number 2. Wow. You know what's on my mind when I see this Knight of Pentacles? You know what's so funny is this Knight of Pentacles looks pretty much a lot like my boyfriend, okay? So pile number 2, if you will allow me that discretion. But from this deck, Work on Self by Psychic Star, okay? And it says shadow work, make peace with your inner shadow. Yeah, and this may be the sense that other people aren't going to agree, or that you need to see something to believe it, or you yourself at times may question or poke holes in things that you noticed or did when it comes to your intuition. Because the 7 of Swords is, you know, Moon and Aquarius energy. It's like very logical, not very emotive, right? And it's kind of that like having 2 minds about something, right? And maybe interrupting your own progress because you're like, I don't know if it's working, right? I don't know, you know, like I rubbed this bottle and a genie came out and granted me my wish, but I still don't really believe it, you know? We have seek the adventure, take the first step, and find your inner self, okay? So a lot of times too, like we can get very stalled on the path when we don't want to look at our own shadow, or we don't want to look at our darker side. And I do think, you know, getting into our shadow, getting into our darker side, getting into our deeper energies like that can open up so much progress on our path. And yeah, so seek the adventure, take the first step. Pile number 2 is what Spirit is saying. And you know, when you're with the Knight of Pentacles energy, it may feel like just no movement, right? But take the first step, even if you feel people are gonna say something or not agree with you, right? You've been invited into the Jade Temple, right? So at this point, like the only thing that needs to hold you back, or the only thing that is holding you back, is yourself. I feel like pile number 2. Yeah, we have detach. Yeah. With this knife and detach. So needing to detach maybe from somebody in your life who is super logical, thinks what you do is dumb, or doesn't like or doesn't respect what you do, or just makes comment, or you just know that they disapprove of what you like and what you're into. Okay, so there might actually be a person that you really do that's kind of mucking it up for you, that you may need to detach from a little bit here. All right, but also I feel like if it's not a person, it's also this sense that I'm not going anywhere and everything I learned meant nothing. Okay, there's something about needing to detach from that. Pile number 2. Okay, we have mint and refresh. Yeah, so, you know, needing to refresh your vibe, your energy, the way you look at something that you did. I also feel like when you're doing intuitive work, smell is really important, and some essential oils, like if you can have some peppermint, spearmint, tea tree oil, even like lemon juice. I feel like if you put that under your nose, even if you add some mint to some water that you're drinking, I feel like you guys need, I feel like one way to stimulate you is through smell, honestly. Pile number 2, okay? And I feel like that will help you clear whatever kind of blockages that you've been holding yourself back with, okay? So using smell, I feel for you guys, as a way, like using your senses as a way to help you cut into your, cut the bullshit and get more into your intuition. Yeah, we have inspiration. Isis, goddess of magic, I ask thee to bring inspiration to me. Yeah, especially after you guys go through a phase of second guessing yourself or feeling like things aren't going anywhere. And also maybe feeling a bit like, well, I tried to do that. I thought it would work and it doesn't work, and then feeling kind of bummed out about it, all right? And like, well, what happened? And with this Isis energy, some of you may really connect to Isis as well. It talks about, magic and inspiration here is kind of what we need to get this Knight of Pentacles out of its kind of funk here. We have the Devil. That doesn't surprise me because you guys have shadow, okay? Shadow work. Make peace with your inner shadow and take the first step to find your inner self, right? So if there's anything, like, I do feel like, in our shadow, we can find a lot of inspiration and magic. I mean, there's a reason to connect with it, right? And if you're feeling really stalled on your path and like the other day, I was wanting to do this reading on my other channel called What's Your Venom, which I ended up putting up and doing. And I thought, I don't know if people will really like that because it's pretty like in your face. It's not a love and light reading. It's definitely like getting into like what makes you a badass, what happens when you're pissed off, like, what is your venom, right? And I feel like but people, it's part of our life. We can't deny that the shadow isn't there. We can't deny that sometimes we don't wish people well. We can't deny that sometimes we're still fucking angry as hell about something. We can't deny that we may have negative feelings about certain people at times, right? And there's something here about your shadow being really creative for you, pile number 2, and just going for it, even if you think that it may upset people or it might not come off right. Well, just kind of go into it, okay? We have 8 of Pentacles and dedicated effort. So you guys are very dedicated. I mean, no one would ever tell you that you're not dedicated with this Knight of Pentacles here, and I think you just get tired sometimes. You just get tired of the same thing. You want to see changes. You want to see progression. You want to feel that magic and inspiration, right? And so it's led to you guys, I feel like, questioning, like, should I even continue down this path anymore? I feel like some of you may have even asked yourself that, but there's something when you guys put yourself onto too rigid of a path with your intuition, it takes the magic, the fun, and the inspiration out of it. Okay, so the key is to stay with your edge and stay, you know, mining that shadow. Yeah, we have 3 of Wands and take the lead. So there's something here too. If you guys have an idea to do something and you're worried that other people are going to hate it or not like it, but your intuition is telling you, give it a try. Go ahead and do it, you know? Fucking caution to the wind. It's so funny. I'm seeing this hot air balloon because it's not funny, but like on the news the other day, there was this news story about how some people in a hot air balloon died, right? Like, I mean, riding around in a hot air balloon, especially with the 7 of Swords, like, it's kind of risque. You guys may have some risque ideas, you know, but it's gonna refresh you, it's going to challenge you, and it's going to put you back in touch with your intuition and get you motivated and excited. For you guys, it's more of a project type of a thing is what I feel. All right. Okay, so we have the Invisible Shield. Here is your first card, and this is from a mediumship book or a mediumship deck by John Holland. It's like the tools for mediumship. So I want to just read this quickly. Have you ever experienced feeling the presence of a loved one who has passed, or the thought of them suddenly coming into your mind? Yeah, the mind here being very, very powerful for you guys. Even though they're in the spiritual realm, their spirit body has an aura which lovingly reaches to yours. Whether you're developing psychically or mediumistically, learning about the aura is an important part of training, okay? You can learn to expand your aura for all manner of reasons, okay? Whether you're about to do a psychic reading, you're about to go to a concert and want to feel the experience and the richness of the music, or even if you're outdoors and just want to heighten the whole experience with nature. As we're all made up of energy, you can blend your aura. Oh my God, that's the thunder. Pile number 2. Experience nature. We are all made up of energy. You can blend your aura with another person's, a plant's, or a trusted pet, and of course, spirit. Wow, so this talks about blending your aura and experiencing things more richly. Seek the adventure, like this card says here. Take the lead and seek the adventure. But yourself. Get your rut bust and get yourself out of just same old, okay? Pile number 2, we have mind focus, all right? And the 7 of Swords can talk about a divided mind, like, I want to do this, but I'm not sure, okay? So something about the mind focus here. Concentration and focus of the mind are keys to sustaining a strong link with the spirit world. Create a strong link. It's important to build your psychic connection so communication can move freely back and forth between you and the spirit world. A mind that is not focused cannot concentrate on the task at hand. Once your attention veers off somewhere else, the link with the spirit world can easily be rebroken, right? And we have the detach card, and then we have the refresh card. So continuing to refresh your link with spirit, all right? There are many ways to train your mind to be more focused. Meditation is one way to do that. Another way is to gaze at a single candle flame. Absolutely, right? Candle magic, flame magic, reading. I mean, you can read a flame in a candle if you want to too, but just focusing on that flame. Focusing doesn't mean intense staring. Oh my God, that's so funny. It's more about placing your awareness on one single thing at a time. When someone walks by, hold the image of their face in your mind. Being in nature helps too. When you're outside, relax and make yourself comfortable and focus on a beautiful flower or even a tree. Notice each and everything about it, from its size to color. And I feel like this is about your third eye, okay? And yeah, with this invisible shield, I kind of feel like this is more maybe like your throat chakra with this invisible, because I'm looking at the blues and the feathers. But I really feel like this mind focus is talking about your third eye, pile number 2. And it's saying, you know, don't overdo it, right? With the devil energy. No need to like intensely stare something down, right? Doing it to death. There's no reason to do that. It's more like soft focus, okay? And I do that sometimes when I'm on walks. Like I'll glance up at a tree and I'll notice, you know, I'll notice the leaves, I'll notice what the plant is, and I'll speak to the plant for a second or speak to the tree for a second. It's kind of weird, but it's like that mind focus, okay? And then we have the Star Keeper, cosmic ancestors, seed the light by staying grounded, okay? Yeah, so talking a lot about being in nature for you and your ancestors here as well. And I do love this third eye. I feel like your ancestors, pile number 2, can really sense in to your intuitive abilities as well. It's almost like they can see through your eyes because we have the ancestors here. And we have Lady Venus. I love that. Lady Venus, pile number 2, downloads and understandings, okay? Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. All right, deep insights, especially about this devil energy and your shadow work and feeling stuck and feeling like really skeptical or others, you know, poking holes in whatever you're doing, right? Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral plane, pile number 2, okay? Lady Venus is with you now. So I just want to look at this Enter the Jade Temple, card 11, because I do feel that's an invitation for you guys. Kuan Yin in her temple of peaceful jade causes all conflict to elevate to higher peaceful resolution. A resolution and healing of any situation that is concerning you is already underway. In fact, you're being asked to begin to feel the relief of that resolution now, so you can more readily receive the divine solution and blessing from Kuan Yin. Okay? So peace does not mean avoiding conflict or pretending that a struggle does not exist. Peace is the light that flows when we're able to step above the illusions of separation, competition, conflict, to seek out the consciousness where we are all in fact divine love and we are serving the path of light, okay? It takes a mature soul to call in peace because it's not a way to avoid conflict. It is a way to use conflict as a spiritual tool with which to grow and become bigger than the conflict, to make allowance for each being to choose their own way to grow and to call forth their spiritual genius, okay? So interesting, pile number 2, talking about conflict here. And I feel like this is more of an inner conflict with you at times, pile number 2. Like, I did this and I worked on this, but how come I'm not seeing the results that I want, right? And I feel there is this invitation waiting for you, this Jade Temple, okay? My dog is wanting to join your reading right now, pile number 2. Poor baby. We have there's some thunder going on right now, but I think it's stopping, okay? We have the Hierophant here. So talking about being super relaxed and happy and not letting anything bother you. This Hierophant is quite content with where they're at, okay? And I feel like this is what you guys want to get to, okay? Like there's a seriousness with the Knight of Pentacles. There's this sense of what I learned was worthless, or, you know, this sense of intense concentration and I can't let up, okay? With the Hierophant, if you look at this Hierophant, very, very relaxed energy, very spiritual, you know. I feel like it's like a stairway to heaven, like Led Zeppelin. And I can't think of the words to that song right now because I'm channeling, but a stairway to heaven. Yeah, so interesting. Downloads and understandings with the Hierophant, pile number 2, okay? Let's go ahead and see and this is some very teaching as well with the Hierophant. If you guys have been feeling frustrated, like you've been stuck and you're like, what is going to take me to the next level, you know, intuitively? What is going to get me there? Something with Venus, okay? And there could be a Taurus in your life or something with just Venus energy in general. Downloads and understandings. The Hierophant is Taurus energy, which is also Venus, okay? So deep insights coming from heaven and the astral realm. Like, you know, you may get frustrated by some of the teachers on the earth plane. I feel like pile number 2, that you feel like maybe don't really offer that much, you know, that don't have that much to teach at times, or you're like, I already learned that, or I already, you know, you guys are kind of the advanced student here. And when you get to that point, the deepest place that you can go after that is into your shadow, to go deeper within yourself, to kind of draw the gold out, okay? So let's see, how can pile number 2 increase their intuition? Let's see, Page of Wands. So again, it's like not worrying about what you did in the past. If it didn't work out, if it didn't, you know, if you're trying to fit a square into a round peg and it just didn't work out, it's like, just let it go, okay? And something about being lighthearted and not taking, yeah, definitely something about being more lighthearted and not taking things so serious. We have the 2 of Cups. I mean, I feel like some of you guys, there's a lot of tantric magic available to you. I feel there's a lot of sexual magic available to you. And there's a lot of magic when it comes to love and sexuality, I feel like. And, you know, the Hierophant is definitely a Taurus card. It's about being in your body, particularly with the Devil energy here too. And getting out of like constantly being in the mind and being too serious at times, pile number 2, like being a lot more lighthearted about things. And then also mixing your energy with other people's here with the 2 of Cups, okay? And seeing what comes off from it. And yeah, we have the 5 of Wands. So we talked about conflict, right? When we were talking about this Temple of the Jade card. And when people are working for different outcomes and different reasons, and people have different, you know, ways of doing things, it can be a very confusing experience. It can make you feel like, you know, I feel like it's almost like with you guys, when you get too many perspectives or you let too many people have too much of an impact on what you're learning or doing, and you're just reaching for whatever comes at you because you want to learn more. I feel like this kind of pulls you guys down into this energy of, you know, confusion, or I'm overwhelmed, or, you know, just this energy of I'm more confused than I was before, and I don't really know what to think about this experience anymore, okay? I feel like that can definitely happen to you guys. So I feel like I'm giving you a message here about avoiding situations like that are super conflict, you know, have a lot of conflict, or even just within yourself, where you're like constantly wanting to reach for or learn new things or work with other teachers. It's kind of like your own downloads are good enough here. Sometimes you just have to, when you're with other people, I feel like enjoy it, you know, like don't be serious, have fun, and you know, enjoy some sexual energy. I feel like here too as well, pile number 2. Yeah, the Lovers, enjoy some sexual energy as soon as I said that, right? Yeah, and smells for sure. I feel like, you know, it's the way that, like, I feel smell is important to you guys and with your intuition. And it's so funny because, you know, a familiar lover or familiar friend, like, you'll never forget their smell, right? And some of you guys may get hits of smell when you're doing intuitive work, or you smell someone's cologne. One time I was doing a YouTube reading on my other channel and I smelled cleaning products and there was nothing around me I hadn't cleaned. There was, you know, and somebody was like, oh yeah, I was cleaning. Like 3 or 4 people wrote that. And, you know, sometimes it's smell, because smell can be an intuitive psychic ability as well. And I am getting that with you guys. But with the Lovers, it's also that mind focus, right? And I do feel that you are very focused and you are very determined, pile number 2, when it comes to learning and growing your intuition. But this Lovers card talks to me more about really connecting with someone and, you know, letting it go sometimes, right? With Venus energy, I feel like at night while you're sleeping, the teachings and the downloads are coming regarding what shadow work you need to do, what your intuition needs to do, how to be inspired, right? But when you're with someone, or you're hanging out with your boo, or you're hanging out with your friend, or you're enjoying your time, really enjoy it. Really enjoy that time. And don't feel like you have to keep striving for some undefined thing. I feel like pile number 2, okay? Yeah, the 9 of Wands, because it just ends up making an enemy out of your intuition, or making you feel like it's constant work, okay? And Spirit is wanting you to, you know, break through this stagnation. 4 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and don't hold yourself back from really living and experiencing life, especially for some of you doing some type of tantric magic. And I do feel like you and your partner, if for those of you that have a partner and have a good relationship, or even a friendship that's very deep, I feel like, you know, I feel you guys could do some really powerful intuitive work together. I honestly do. And I do feel when you're with that person, you are in your right brain. You are in your intuitive function, and it brings it out of you, okay? And when you're just trying to push through without regard for, you know, yourself and what you're feeling, and it just makes you more confused and tired, and it actually makes it seem like it's really heavy work. Pile number 2, okay? So something about staying very lighthearted with your intuition, all right? Something about laughing and being lighthearted and enjoying, seek the adventure, okay? Because there's a temple invitation, I feel, here for you. Pile number 2. All right, my lovelies, this Enter the Jade Temple. So thank you so much, pile number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care on your path, and we'll see you again soon. All right, let's go ahead with pile number 3. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the amber, this beautiful amber. It's actually not a crystal. It's just a piece, it's raw amber actually from Sedona. It's super cool. You can actually see the amber in there. It's like, it looks like honey. Like, oh, I'm gonna eat that, you know? Thank you for being here, pile number 3, and I feel excited for your reading. Let's go ahead and get into it. The reading is called How to Increase Your Intuition. So let's get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the beautiful energy of my pile number 3s, and let's look at how to increase their intuition. Let's do it. We have the 9 of Chalices. So, I mean, I feel like some of you guys have been feeling pretty good about your intuition lately, and you're just checking in, you know? Like, you're just checking in to see with how I feel actually match this reading. And I feel like a lot of you guys could feel quite blessed and lucky, and like that you're in a good place with your intuition, and that you're working a lot with spirit already for some of you guys here in pile number 3, and your work is quite plentiful. All right, so good energy there. I mean, that's a verification for you. And we have the Tower. Oh my God. All right, so sudden flashes of insight, sudden like, whoa, I can't believe that happened, okay? And a lot of you guys, maybe when you're working with your intuition or you're working with spirit, you guys will hear things. I do feel this could be a very clairaudient pile. Like, you know, you may hear like, you know, like when you say something and then boom, thunder, or when you're talking about something, boom, it happens. I also feel like some of you guys could get very powerful premonitions, pile number 3, okay? And You know, I feel like some of you guys are quite rapid manifestors. You have a lot of luck and you have a lot of support from spirit. And that's a beautiful thing, but it also can be kind of scary if you are a rapid manifester and a lot of your wishes are being fulfilled and a lot coming true. And some of you guys here may be readers, you may be intuitives yourselves. Some things that happen may be like genuinely spooky, like things that you're able to predict, or even ghosts or spirits, okay? And this is all a part of that intuitive world, right? There's nothing to be scared of. Pile number 3, you are very powerful. With this Tower energy, you're definitely channeling some very forceful energy through spirit. And I feel like your guides help moderate this energy, okay? And it really comes through you here in streams instead of this really crazy, powerful 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm seeing 6 beams of light come through here. So instead of it being this massive, like, you know, and I remember, you know, in my early 20s when my intuition was getting turned on, you guys, and I was, you know, getting a lot of experiences. Like I was getting woken up in the middle of the night. I was seeing shapes materialize in front of my face. I was, you know, I mean, there was just a lot happening. I was seeing spirits by my bedside, literally writing me notes and reading what they were writing. I was, you know, I mean, it was like a Kundalini awakening, okay? It was pretty, and sometimes it got super intense to the point where I was like, okay, I have to work in the morning. And sometimes it would scare me a little bit too, you know, no lie, because and it was very clairaudient. I would like hear things as well too. Like I would, you know, kind of be in that stage of falling asleep, and it'd feel like I'd get into like a busy airport or like a tunnel with a lot of voices echoing around me, okay? And I think some people thought I was having a nervous breakdown, right? The Tower, but I wasn't. I mean, I was just really getting my psychic abilities were really getting turned on. And you know, I had psychic abilities from the time I was a kid, right? 9 of Cups. But you know, spirit can help control that when we're younger so that we're not so besieged, right? And can help control that flow of energy is what I'm seeing here with this 9 of Cups, to make it an easier experience. But at some point, we're gonna get cracked open, you know, and we're gonna feel the intensity of the energy that's trying to commune with us, because we are an open channel, okay? So I just wanna confirm that for you guys in pile number 3. And there may be something here about being, I may have told you that story, because there may be something scary about letting your intuition really turn on, okay? Like you may kind of be taking it in a nice even stream right now from spirit, and there's nothing wrong with that, pile number 3, but I do feel there's a lot of built up pressure for you psychically, in the sense that there's a lot of work for you to do psychically, and there's a lot of spirits that want to work with you, so that's what kind of facilitates the crack open. We have 8 Immortals. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ, pile number 3. Sorry to swear, but I mean, to me, this is, I mean, we're going to read this. This is card number 9. Again, we have 2 9s here. We have 9, 9, and then the Tower. So that's wild enough as it is. But this card is called 8 Immortals, and we're going to read this card. This is from the Kuan Yin deck. I've never actually pulled this card before, and I can see multiple entities wanting to work with you. All right. There's one that is smiling too. That's like, ha, finally, you know, finally, pile number 3 is realizing that they're a medium and waking up to this, and I really want to work with them. Okay. So there's 8 Immortals, or 8 spirits that are wanting to work with you. And right now, you guys may be working with 6 streams of even flow energy that one of your guides is helping to flow out this energy to you. But believe me, there's a lot more behind this big slab of wood. There's a lot more energy that is wanting to get at you, pile number 3, okay? Wow, we have power in the Tiger. Find your inner strength. All right, so some of you guys really you do not need to be afraid. You have a tiger animal totem here. You have a guide that is aligned to lightning, that is aligned to storm energy. And I feel like this guide could be very biblical or a historic figure, actually, pile number 3. And there's something here about knowing your true power. All right, and finding your inner strength, because the tower can seem threatening and overwhelming, all right, but you control it. Remember that, pile number 3, you control it. You're in the driver's seat here, and so are your guides. They're helping to keep this under control for you. We have healing. You are a healer, or you are in need of healing. So I see the hands here with all this chakra energy coming out of them. Some of you guys may be Reiki healers, or you may be studying that, or energy healers of some kind. Your touch is very healing, whether you know that or not. It very much is. Your touch is healing and powerful when you share that with others. And maybe there is some energy work here for you guys to do as well, especially for those of you that have been through a powerful Kundalini awakening with your third eye and with your intuition. And I feel like for you guys, it's not just your third eye, it's literally your entire chakra system, okay? And let's see what else. We have Celestite and Connect. Wow, I got chills, okay? I got chills, they're multiplying, pile number 3. Now, Celestite, the heavens want to connect with you. The angels want to connect with you. Heaven wants to connect with you. There's a lot of energies that want to flow into you. And you're like, yeah, I'm good with what flows to me now, and I can handle it. If it became more, you know, it might get to be a lot, all right? And with the way it is now, I can sort of handle it. But I definitely feel there's a lot more entities, energies, etc., from the heaven and the celestial realms that want to connect with you in a mediumship type of an experience, I feel like, that are like dying to connect with you, pile number 3, okay? We have Pyrite and Success. So there is a huge breakthrough with your intuition for those of you that have spiritually based businesses, or you're using your intuition as a way to, you know, as a way to move through life in a powerful manner. There's a lot of success here, and there's a huge breakthrough. The tower is breakthrough energy, okay? And to get to your next, you've been flowing really well at the level that you've been at with your intuition, and you've gotten into a good pattern with it, but there's a higher level that is wanting to reach you here, okay? And for a long time, like, I've kind of always considered the creme de la creme of, you know, intuitive work to be mediumship work. And, you know, mediumship work is, to me, a lot crazy. I mean, psychic work is also very intuitive, right? But mediumship is kind of the creme de la creme, in my opinion, because there's no tarot cards, there's nothing, it's just you and the other person, and you're pulling on that energy. It's a little frightening, okay? But some of you guys are going to be having big breakthroughs with success when you really let this energy flow, okay? We've got confidence, yeah. By earth and air, water and fire, let my confidence take light, burn higher, okay? And yeah, so we talk about this power here and these 8 immortals. I feel like these 8 immortals are also ascended masters that are trying to work with you now as well, pile number 3. And they're giving me a message to tell you, like, don't lock us out. Give us permission to enter your energy field. We promise we will not overwhelm you and give you more than you can hold, but instead meet us with confidence and let us know that you're ready, because we're like, I feel like they're saying we're standing right next to you right now, okay? So for some of you guys, it's almost like you need to flash a symbol to them and let them know that they can go ahead and come in and work with you, okay? And we have Death here. Wow, 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 wow. You guys are my mediums for sure, all right? And this power energy, tiger, death energy coming out here, this snake, also scorpionic energy, but talking about working with, you know, spirits, working with, you know, the unseen realms, all right? Like your guys' intuition, and also the ability for you guys to relay, to dip your energy into other situations and read the Akashic records and then relay that message to others, all right? And yeah, this is about really going deep with your power. Pile number 3. So I feel your intuition has been really doing well, and some of you may have been making money off of your intuition with this 9 of Cups, or receiving a lot of luck and blessings from it, okay? It's certainly been a good adventure, I feel like, so far for you. But there's a huge breakthrough. There's more spirits that want to connect with you. There's more ancestors. There's more power. And there are experiences here with death that want to take you to your limit, take you to your edge. We're talking about the death. We're talking about death and tower, all right, as your major arcanas. So yeah, pile number 3, we have 6 of Swords, and the healing begins. And this talks about you are a healer, or you are in need of healing. So pulling back the curtain here and taking a good analytical look at some things in your life, pile number 3, that, you know, would be good for you to think about maybe in a different way, or just completely move on from, okay? But definitely an energy of healing here. Wow, wow, wow. I had a feeling this card was gonna come out when I was, you know, asking Spirit what decks I should use for your reading. It told me, it flashed me the image of this deck, which, by the way, when something gets flashed to you, that's clairvoyance. But I don't even need to tell you guys that. You guys already know what that is. I feel like you guys in pile number 3, you're advanced intuition workers already, okay? Crown chakra. You don't need me to tell you that. I know you know what clairvoyance is. And I had a feeling this card was going to come out. This is the Judgment card. And in this deck, it's called Blossom. So look at, we have the Tower, Death, and Judgment. All right, power. You have some very powerful gifts, pile number 3, okay? And, you know, you may have had experiences in the past that scared you or that made you doubt yourself, but I mean, I don't really see that holding you back anymore. Look at the energy that she is holding. Look at how much life force and energy she's holding here, all right? And she's holding it right next to her. She's not afraid of it. Judgment is pure fire energy, okay? So it's like the ability to play with fire and not get burned. Pile number 3, like you've got, you know, and Judgment talks about the evolution, the plutonic evolution of your soul. And, you know, this tiger energy, this confidence energy, this willingness to go into the situations where other people are not willing to go, all right? And something about you nurturing this energy within yourself, all right? Pile number 3, that's really gonna lead to your success. We have be of service. Wow, look at this connection. Look at their hands joined. Be of service to spirit. Be of service to spirits that have passed over and ascended masters who need to communicate with you. Be of service to humanity, okay? And this is a part of your life mission here. When you're called to awaken the medium within, it is also a calling to devote your life to a work of service. It is truly an honor and a blessing to serve spirit. Oh, I'm gonna cry, pile number 3. I feel so happy for you, okay? If you hold an open and pure heart, the blessings from spirit in return will be bountiful and endless. Yeah? With the 9 of Cups here, the blessings from spirit will be bountiful and endless, okay? The path of the medium should only be seen as a blessing and never a burden, okay? The journey of development is not always easy or rewarding, but serving spirit from your heart will be blessed with grace and support along your path, okay? If this card is calling you, then it is time to start practicing what it means to be of service. Take time today to offer a random act of kindness, to volunteer, or give someone a hug, all right? Give someone a remote hug. Remember, the main goal for spirit is to bring healing and love and light to the living. Okay, yeah, a lot of spirits that have crossed over that need help bringing healing to the people that are still here left on earth. Okay, pile number 3, and that's what you're in service towards. The spirit world will always love and support your compassion, kind work. Oh, I love this. In the most unusual ways, look for the beautiful blessings and signs from spirit with gratitude, as spirit's way is to let you know you're moving in the right direction. Wow, pile number 3. I don't think I've just became super overwhelmed with emotion reading that for you. It's very lovely, okay? It hasn't been easy. We have ethical awareness, right? And this talks about, for those of you that are working in this field and making money, and you should be paid, you know, a fair energy exchange. Intuitive work is still work. I want everyone to know that, and I know you guys know that too. But, you know, talking about your own ethics with what you do and why it's important, okay? So it says service to spirit and strong ethical awareness are at the heart of mediumship. Whenever you're offering evidential messages, they should always be delivered in a loving, kind, and healing manner. Well, you guys have 2 healing cards here, so I don't doubt that you will do that. Remain conscious of what you're sharing. It should be relevant, authentic, and meaningful to the sitter rather than harmful, destructive, or hurtful, right? With this death card and power, right? Using our power in a way, even if it's upsetting and people cry. I mean, sometimes people cry when they connect with their loved one on the other side, right? And that's a normal human emotion, but it should bring healing, right? That's the main goal of everything you're doing. Pile number 3 is to bring healing to people, okay? As mediums, we don't get to choose the spirits we communicate with. In being of service to spirit, it's important for us to remain unbiased, right? And simply be the channel for the healing communication. Remember that spirit communication is a 3-way process between the medium, the sitter, and the spirit. Maintaining a high level of ethical awareness ensures mutual respect among the medium, the spirit, and the recipient. A great way to practice ethical awareness is to become mindful of your own behavior and how it impacts those around you. If you feel you're being overly judgmental, take a moment to breathe in the energy of compassion. Notice how your behavior changes as you adapt and even change your ethical values. This will help you see the world without judgment and become the best medium that you can be. Wow. Wow, pile number 3. All right, we have, yeah, it doesn't surprise me, karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict, okay? So you guys talking about the sacrifices that you had to make and the pain and the struggle, right? And with Tower, death, and judgment out on the table, it doesn't surprise me that you guys have probably went through some deeply karmic relationships. I mean, karmic relationships aren't just romantic, they can be in families. And to me, it just means relationships where we learn deep spiritual lessons, okay? And healing, helping people heal that is a huge life mission for you, I feel. Pile number 3 with the intuitive work that you do, all right? And you maybe went through a lot of those relationships yourself as a way to understand that, okay? And you've been building up a lot of knowledge in that area, I feel. We have, yep, here it is. We have Sanat Kumar, light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. Of course it's coming through loud and clear. Pile number 3, like you're coming through as the 9 of Cups for your intuition. Your guidance is coming through loud and clear, all right? And a lot of the information that you share with others intuitively is going to help change their life, okay? And help them see the truth with this Tower card here. I really do feel. Now, I want to look at these 8 immortals, this card number 9 here from this Kuan Yin deck, and read you guys a little bit about this. The messages you have been receiving that are unconditionally loving, flashes, or fearless and encouraging of you to grow into your true self are from your higher guidance. The 8 immortals are the beings of divine light and divine love are guiding you, okay? It is safe to follow these messages now. Doing so will bring you greater joy. Okay, sometimes you may question whether you're in contact with genuine spiritual guidance or just engaging in wishful thinking. Yeah, with the Tower and the Nine of Cups, I can see why that would be there, right? Genuine guidance is simple, clear, and repetitive. I feel that often when I'm getting clairaudient messages. It's simple, it's clear, and it won't let go. It keeps insisting that I repeat it. And I think that's, a big sign that something is clairaudiently coming to you. When asking for confirmation, it will come. The more open you are, the more quickly the confirmation can reach you in forms of signs, conversations, and serendipitous happenings. In fact, confirmation and guidance can be instantaneous from multiple unconnected sources. Wow, like the universe is playing a joyful, loving game with you. The guidance will be uplifting and helpful. Sometimes it will ask you to take a step that feels challenging, and yet true guidance always proves itself in that it only asks of you what is right and just for your highest good, okay? It's good to be careful and discerning about the quality of guidance that you're seeking, right? Ethical awareness here. But it is usually an easy task to identify when guidance is not of, the variety that you need, right? It will be judging of you or others, and it will not feel right, all right, if it's not genuine guidance. Genuine guidance, even when challenging, brings a sense of rightness and peace into your heart, okay? And it says here, and I wish they would say more about who the 8 immortals are, because it doesn't talk about these 8 beings, but interesting. I mean, I guess it's a mystery, right? Pile number 3, you're gonna find out. You are gonna find out, my loves. And okay, interesting. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at how can pile number 3 increase their intuition? How can pile number 3, right? Ooh, well, we got the Justice card, and ethical awareness came out here too. So if there's been something that's bothering you lately, pile number 3, about, should I talk to someone about that? And I'll tell you something. There's been times when I've done readings for people where I feel I cannot even reach something because Spirit is saying don't touch that, okay? And I'll tell the person I'm reading for, I'm being directed to something about this particular thing that I cannot touch. I'm not to touch right now, and telling the person that you're reading for that instead of trying to get it out of them, right? I mean, I feel like and also when you're reading for someone, deciding, telling them too, right? Because a lot of people look at readers and intuitives like they're infallible and they can't make mistakes. And, telling people like, hey, this is a reading and you can always change it. And, your own best self is your own intuition, like your own way of knowing is your own intuition. And I'm here to give you impartial guidance, right? This ethical awareness talked about not judging when you're reading for others, okay? Because if you're gonna see a lot of situations, if you're doing any kind of intuitive work for people, you're gonna see a lot of situations, pile number 3. And sometimes you're gonna be called to be impartial, okay, on situations. Now, there's been times when I've had readings with people and I've had to say, look, I'm seeing this. I have to tell you what I'm getting and I'm seeing this, but I also have to let you know that, my personal bias is XYZ, right? And so yeah, there's a lot of interesting discussions and talking about that. I remember once I was doing a reading, and I'll stop with my stories here, but I was doing a reading for somebody in Dubai and they were asking me about marriage. And, I had to disclose to that person, yeah, I'll do this reading for you, but keep in mind, I'm giving it to you through the lens of a Western woman where some of the cultural things that we have here are different, okay? So I just want you to understand that I'm gonna read the energy, but it may come through my filter, okay? So yeah, this justice energy is talking about being impartial, like we said earlier, when you're working with intuition. And we have Seven of Pentacles here. So yeah, maybe sometimes, you know, why is the Seven of Pentacles here? That's kind of throwing me. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Spirit. Three of Swords. Okay, so, you know, I mean, sometimes the information that you have to deliver you may not feel good about delivering, or you may stall on it, or you may not. And you know what's crazy, pile number 3, is I'm giving you this reading as if you're already doing intuitive work for people. Maybe you're just starting, or maybe you've been doing it for a long time, or whatever. But the other two piles were way different. So in this reading, I'm almost assuming that you're already a reader because that's the energy that I'm getting for you guys, like very high level here. And not that the others weren't, they were too. It's just, I feel some of you guys really may be in this, okay? And sometimes the messages that you have to give people are not, you know, you're not real happy to deliver that message, right? And it's like, well, how do I do that? And that happens to me sometimes when I'm doing readings on my other channel and I'm reading about people's love lives, okay? But you gotta sometimes tell it like it is, even if you're afraid that, and there's that balance, right? Between, like, I don't want to withhold the truth from anyone, but I also don't want to make it seem worse than it is. It's like how to find that happy medium. All right, let's go ahead and see what else we have here. Yeah, we have the Sun. So it'd be lovely if we could just give everyone constant, you know, there's going to be no hardships, everything's going to be wonderful, I don't see any delays, you know. It'd be wonderful if we could give messages like that to everyone, but I also feel like that's kind of like immature, or it's kind of naive, right? And you know, it's not, sometimes we don't always like what we see, and we may not like, you know, the information that we're getting, but if we can deliver it in a way that's empowering to others and helps them feel responsible for their own lives, then we can really make a difference, okay? Then we can really find the light at the end of the tunnel. So there is a lot of, you know, with this ethical awareness, you really do got to be careful with that, because people will sometimes just take things at face value, right? And they may not question things. And with you guys, I feel like when you guys listen to intuitive readings or guidance, you do, you know, you listen for cues that people are not sugarcoating things, that people actually mean what they say. You look for that, and that's good, because if you're looking for that, then you can also employ that in what you're doing, all right? And with the Chariot, it's talking about, you know, really it's coming out on power, death, and light activation. So there is going to be some significant, you know, revving up to your engine, your psychic engine, pile number 3. And it's just going to get bolder and stronger, more confident, right? And it's going to grow. And what you do, like business-wise, and what you do with your work, etc., is just going to get even bigger and have more impact and impact more people. So it is important to think about, you know, these ethical issues while you're doing what you're doing, right? And experience, right? And I feel like some of you guys see examples where people are not doing a good job of this, and it may really, you know, help you understand, like, you know, it may help you. You may become a better intuitive as a result. I feel you will, actually, okay? So we have Page of Pentacles here. So talking about looking at something new or trying something new for you guys here too. Why is this Page of Pentacles here, Spirit? We have Two of Swords. Don't be closed off to trying something new when it comes to your intuition. You may be like, I already tried that, or that didn't work, or, you know, I already took a class on that, or I already tried that, I already learned that, right? And Spirit is saying here, if you do something again and you hear it a second time, it may really help you take off, okay? So don't immediately write something off because you're like, I already did that, or, try not to write that off, particularly if it's someone young. I do feel there could be someone, for some of you guys, I feel like there could be like a niece, a nephew, a younger child, or somebody who looks up to you that would like you to help them or train them. And some of you guys are like, I don't know, I'm not ready for that. I'm not sure I want to take that on, okay? But I do feel there's going to be an opportunity in the future, especially with this Justice card, for you guys to help others and train others. So be open to those opportunities, because I do feel that they're going to help you grow. Pile number 3, okay? What else can pile number 3 do here to increase their intuition? What else can they do here? Strength. Wow. Well, that's and the Ace of Cups is on the bottom of the deck for you guys, talking about healing, right? Ooh, boy. Sorry, pile number 3. That really made me jump when my dog barked there. Wow. Okay, I almost jumped out of my skin. But yeah, strength and power in this tiger, this lion energy, right? And this is saying, like, you guys are, other people are not impacting you as much as you think, all right? If you think that other people are, distracting you, or that, you've got some bad advice or things like that, I really don't think they're distracting you as much as you think. Pile number 3, you're quite certain and confident and determined, and you will make the right decision about something. And you will step up to the plate if necessary, okay? And there may be somebody that really could use your guidance, okay? Especially when it comes to controlling their intuition, all right? Because, some people can be a little bit afraid, like I talked about in the beginning of the reading, like when I was younger and I was getting like blown open, with my own intuition. There might be somebody in your life who needs help controlling their intuition in a good way. I don't mean in a bad way, but I mean like setting some boundaries around it, getting confident with it, feeling like they're in control of it instead of it's in control of them, okay? I do feel like there may be somebody around you that needs some help with that, or would like some help with that, okay? Pile number 3. So yeah, I mean, I really do feel like you guys are coming off as some people very advanced in your intuition, very tapped in, and yeah, it's just a matter of opening up to these new abilities, I feel like, for you guys, and continuing to work through like your own ethical awareness with what you're doing and bringing healing in, all right? And for those of you that want to be mediums, I really feel like you could be mediums, okay? So if you're wondering, like, I'm already a psychic and I do psychic work, could I, be a medium? Absolutely, pile number 3, okay? So thank you so much, my loves. Pile number 3. It's 4:11 on my clock right now. We need the 411. Hopefully I gave you guys the 411 and let you know what was up. And yeah, leave me a comment, like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined. And I hope to see you again next time. Take care, pile number 3.